artistic BSP umbrella. So today, we're revisiting a series I did not too long ago, where I looked at the best Pokemon of a single typing in every main game. Well, this time it's going to be a little different, as we're going to be looking at all the best Pokemon for typings in BDSP only. That means we're going to look at all 18 typings and come up with the best Pokemon for each for an in-game playthrough. Now, of course, if you guys watched the last series, you already know what I think the best Pokemon is for every typing in Diamond and Pearl from the original releases. But things are different now. We, of course, have the Fairy typing, which changes things a little bit, and different moves and evolution methods. And all that which really affect other Pokemon as well. So I think that's enough of an introduction for this video. Just keep in mind that this is all my opinion, and this is one of those lists where I think there can be multiple correct answers. So we're going to start things off with the water typing here. I looked at all the different water types in the game, and of course, if you watched any of my best teams, you know that I'm very partial to Gyarados. It's a very good Pokemon, but it doesn't get a lot of its flying typing. However, we're talking about the water type here, so it doesn't really matter. Now, that being said, there's really only one other Pokemon worth going up against Gyarados, and it's Empoleon. And that's where things got a little interesting. See, to tell you the truth, I actually kind of think Empoleon is the best water type to go with. And why do I feel that way? It's because Empoleon can get a lot out of its move pool when it comes to stat. Gyarados, as we know, it doesn't have any flying type moves, and that kind of works against it a little bit because it really hinders its coverage. As we know, Gyarados really only uses Ice Fang, Rock Slide, and Earthquake as complementary moves to Waterfall, while Empoleon can use Splash Cannon, Grass Knot, and Ice Beam to much better successes. Empoleon also has better defenses than Gyarados. So I don't really understand thinking Gyarados is the better water type here. It made more appearances on best teams that didn't involve Empoleon simply because Empoleon could be evolved. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say here. Empoleon is the best water type to use in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, though we can definitely have a dialogue about it in the comments. Next up, we're going through to the grass typing. As you can probably guess, the two best Pokemon to talk over here are Roserade and Torterra. I don't think you can go all that wrong with making a claim that either is the best, but I have the clear-cut favorite of the two for this typing. Torterra has some issues with its weakness to ice being at the forefront. And while it's got two very powerful stab moves in Earthquake and Woodhammer, it lacks both the power and move pool of Roserade. See, the reason why I find Roserade to be the best grass type is pretty simple. You can get a Review about as soon as you get Togepi, and thus by default, the stats equal. Boy, I take the Pokemon with Grass, Poison, and Fairy coverage alongside 125 special attack over a massive Ice weakness, and only two particularly great moves. That's it then. Roserade is the best grass type. I've given my ruling here. Also, while we're at it, Roserade is the best poison type too. Crobat was the only other Pokemon I considered for this spot, but I did like the coverage Roserade had. It's really not a bad rep of the poison type though, but I can't see it holding a candle to Roserade. Also, really, let's nail 2 birds with 1 stone again. This time, we're going fire and fighting. They're the same Pokemon. And yeah, that's a pretty dead giveaway. Infinite is hands down the best fire type in these games, regardless of any extra ones included. And of course, by extension, it's the best fire type. We don't need to waste much time talking over the fire aspect. It's a mixed attacker with great options on both ends of the field. Flame Blitz or Flamethrower to start with. I mean, step above the rest. Now, as for the fighting typing, I know a lot of you can see Lucario as a very viable fighting type to challenge this title. But come on, folks. Lucario is available by the 6th gen at the earliest, while Infinite is used during the whole game. It can use Focus Blast and Close Combat, which are two of the best fighting moves. So let's not forget the biggest travesty in all of Pokemon. Infinite can't learn Drain. That's just wrong, and I'll understand why they agree with this. So just beyond its quality fighting styles, Infinite also has some nice coverage with Earthquake, Shadow Claw, and Acrobatics, as well as the ability to set up Special League with Calm Mind. There's so much good to talk about with the best starter for Sinnoh. But let's move on before we spend too much time on it. Let's do Dragon next and get it out of the way. It's Garchomp. Altaria is the only other Dragon type you can get prior to the closing game, and it's not very good despite having a decent move. You're better off waiting for the later game to use Garchomp in his power than settling for Altaria. Truth be told, it's fortunate Garchomp in the competition is Altaria for the Dragon type, because it's most certainly not the best ground type. No, that goes to Torterra. I have some other options here, but the blast coverage provided by Torterra was important, even if it does have an issue with the ice types. See, Torterra was earthquake upon evolution, which is a really big deal. It doesn't have to rely on a stupidly high level or getting its GM out of Wayward Cave. Now, there are plenty of different ground type options in the game, and we're going to talk about a few more which are better at these other types. However, Torterra can take hits and excel at dealing damage with moves that have access to. We can talk more about it in the comments if you guys want, but that's just how I feel. As for another ground type that we can talk about, let's go over the best ice type, Mamoswine. It came close to being the best ground type, but was edged out by Torterra in part due to how much sooner you get it. Now, that said, it's really only because there's potential of getting Torterra by around the 3rd gen. Well, Mamoswine will take a little longer with ancient power needing to be hard scaled back on. However, as an ice type, it's the cream of the crop. All of the other Pokemon are pretty much landlocked to the Snow Point Ski area. The Swinub is available in the underground in non-snowy places. So with it, you'll eventually be able to get ancient power on a Mamoswine and then end up with a Majestic Nano. It's a powerful base 130 attack and will have access to Earthquake, Ice Shard, and Avalanche. So a lot of those good moves will come a bit late. And of course Avalanche, as we know from the best game of Platinum, is the meme at this point in time. And it also has negative priority, so you know. Like I said, Mamoswine is the wave among ice types, almost exclusively because it's really the only viable ice type to use early on. Let's hit another 2-for-1 special here in Electric and Steel, as Magnezone checks both of those boxes today. Now, there are definitely some alternatives on the Steel end, and we'll get to that. But let's start with the electric side. The only other Pokemon I thought was comparable to Magnezone was Raichu. But ultimately, it doesn't put in the sort of work that this UFO does. Also, guys, don't lie to yourselves. Luxray doesn't hold a candle to Magnezone. The move pool on Luxray wishes it could be as good as Magnezone's. That's just facts. Powerful Steel-type moves, to handle Fairy types, and a ton of electric options? That's more worth having. It might have a massive ground weakness, but at least Sturdy can help it limit keeping from max health. And I think that's pretty important. So, as for the Steel typing, I think Magnezone again. Everything you need to get into holiday mode. Because I felt when I compared the other Steel types in the game, its move pool offered the best source of cover. I originally had thought about putting Bronzong here in this spot, but I honestly ended up figuring that while you can easily find a psychic option to replace that aspect of Bronzong, it's a bit tougher to roll out an electric type that compares with Magnezone, as we just spoke about. I know that can seem like a little bit of a cop-out using Magnezone's electrical prowess as a big reason why it's the best Steel type, but it just honestly feels right to give this title to Magnezone and its fantastic power. Oh, speaking of Steel types I considered, here is one that was there with Magnezone and Bronzong as well, Sizzler. It's the best bug type to use in Brilliant Diamond, but fell short of the Steel type. Its good bug type moves are definitely some of the best, but that wasn't enough to elevate it into the top Steel spot. However, when you're a bug that can hit hard for stab with both of your types, then that's saying something. Iron Head, Bullet Punch, and X-Scissor are all pretty great moves, though a lack of coverage is a bit unfortunate beyond this stat. As for Shining Pearl, your best bug type there is Heracross, which might be why it appears on some of the teams late into the game. It's elevated by strong stat moves from Mega Horn to Close Combat, and its 125 attack stat was pretty fantastic. Heracross wins in that game by virtue of Sizzler being version exclusive, and no other bug type really being able to step up to this power. Let's go with the second type next, and this one leads to an argument we had before. Darkfloor or Alakazam. They're both so good. but only one is the best. And as was the case so many times before, I'm gonna have to give it to Alakazam here. They're both a couple of Pokemon with very similar viewpoints, with Gardevoir actually arguably having the better one by a slim margin. Singular Thunderbolt and Moonblast versus Alakazam Shockwave and Gaslight Wood. The big deal in these games is that Ralts and Abra are both available early enough where there is no advantage in that regard either way. We have to go down to the stats really. And as always, Alakazam wins that with 135 special attack and 120 speed. Since Alakazam doesn't have to take hits, it is almost always going to outspeed and constantly have the chance to knock out opposing Pokemon in one hit. I'm giving the win to Alakazam today because it was better where it really mattered. But I know this won't trigger the Garden stands in the comments. Remember, I really like Gardevoir too, but we're talking about Alakazam, folks. Speaking of disappointing Gardevoir fans, let's do it again real quick. Clefable is the best fairy type to use in BDS. It doesn't have the stats that Gardevoir has, but it makes up for it in being a coverage machine. These games give you every good move imaginable that Clefable can learn, for very cheap in the Veilstone department store. And at that point, it's hard to go against Clefable. You can put aside needing to find the Moonstone and only 95-day special attack when this Pokemon is actually able to cover every hole on your team. I can understand that some of you guys are tired of hearing about Clefable and how good it is, and why the Veilstone department store is the greatest place you can spend a $50. But all I have to say is this: Pussy and Jelly. Like for real. Let's see. We've got the Dark type next. And this one I had a bit of an internal discussion on for a little bit. It came down to two Pokemon, Drapion versus Houndoom. Just who was the better Dark type in these games? It's almost in a way like the Clefable versus Gardevoir argument. The whole thing is power versus coverage. Though I ended up giving the edge to power this time. Houndoom is stronger by a lot. Like enough where it makes a difference. These two have the same physical attack, but Houndoom outshines Drapion by 50 more points in special attack.
After 20 years in Canada, the most searched topic is Canada. So we just wanted to
Meaning it's got the makings of being, at the very least, a fine mixed attacker. Something Drapion can't say. The Elemental Fangs, Earthquake, and Great Stab moves are Drapion's boothold, which makes it very attractive as a Pokemon to use. But Houndoom has some tremendous Fire and Dark Stab in its pool, as well as access to Thunder Fang and its own Poison type move, Sludge Bomb. That means it can still handle Fairy types, it can defend itself against Water types, at least a little bit, and its two Stab moves will hit like a truck, since they're of the special variety. Now, I will give up that Drapion can take hits a bit better for sure, but at the end of the day, these two Pokemon have the same speed, so that's just one thing less to compare. The only other thing there is to bring up in Drapion's defense is the sniper ability. But crits aren't a guarantee, and even then, all it will do is make a move like Cross Poison or Night Slash hit as hard as Houndoom's Flamethrower and Dark Pulse do at a normal rate. I know you guys already have a ton of opinions throughout the video, but let me know where you stand on Drapion versus Houndoom as well. Next up, we'll hit on the Ghost typing real quick. You guys know I've got a lot of love for Miss Magnus, but I can't deny that Gengar is the best Ghost type. It's got 130 base special attack, 110 speed, and all those great coverage moves in its pool that it can easily get from the Veilstone department store. Miss Magnus has some good coverage too in its pool, but it simply can't touch the premium Gengar stats. Let's go with the Rock type next, and this one is going to end up being Golem. I wanted to go with Rhyperior, but unfortunately, you're not going to find the Protector until the post-game, so it was off the table. Looking at the Pokedex, this wasn't a Rock type as well off as Golem, as there are too many detriments to using Rampardos, and Pseudo just ends up being outclassed. If only Light actually existed in his games. I did probably try to make the argument for Rhydon, but oh well. So at the penultimate spot typing today, we've got Flying, and this one came down to a few Pokemon: Honchkrow, Crobat, and Staraptor. Now, as you guys know, I'm a fan of Honchkrow. Well, really, I'm a fan of all three, but whatever. Honchkrow Flying and Dark type stab moves, and the Super Luck ability is fantastic. Truth be told, I think it's safe to say it's the best flying type for growing diamond. You just have to acquire a Dusk Stone, which is surely possible early enough into the game. Though that leaves us with either Crobat or Staraptor for Shiny Pearl. And of course, I've got to go with the early bird there. Crobat isn't a bad Pokemon at all. Its poison typing is nice to have, and it's a speedy boy with a very little bit of bulk. However, in the tech stat, you can't really compare with Staraptor, and it lacks great coverage. It's a close one, sure, but I think Staraptor for me personally is the best form type for Shiny Ball. So that brings us to our final typing of the day, normal. There are so many different normal types in these games, and at least a quarter of them are pretty damn solid in a playthrough. However, you guys know me well enough that I've got to pick Staraptor for this position. I probably pissed a lot of you guys off in the comments because I've been talking about Staraptor a lot. But the best normal type is actually going to have to be Snorlax. It's easy to get Munchlax now, about halfway through your gym challenge. And it's absolutely tremendous special defense and attack, help it stand out from the crowd. It has plenty of moves in its field to cover others, from heavy slams to high horsepower to brick break. You just get a lot of mileage out of this fat boy. And while Return isn't back for BDSP, it doesn't hurt Snorlax at all. The Big Guy is once again the top normal option in a region. So that's it. We went through all the typings, picked the best Pokemon in each, and had some fun along the way. This was all my opinion, of course. So I'm very curious to hear from you guys what you think the best Pokemon of every type is. I know this type of video always creates a little controversy, so I look forward to getting your take on it. For now though, I'm going to wrap this one up with one last note. The selling at the department store sucks. And if you live in Kanto, you should consider importing from Vesto. That's all. Hey guys, thank you for enjoying another Mystic Memory episode. It's exciting times for the Pokemon franchise, and I look forward to the coming months where this keeps getting better. I want to give a huge thanks to my phenomenal team, and to the amazing art done each week by Danny the Beast. I couldn't do all this without them. If you guys are wanting some more bite-sized Mystic Umbreon content, please check out my TikTok, where I upload daily, as well as the Mystic Umbreon shorts channel. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too. It really helps us out. I think it's time to wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Umbreon, and I'll see you next time with some more amazing Pokemon content. The new Pokemon games have just came out, and everyone is super excited to be able to play them and talk about it. I knew as a diehard Pokemon Let's Go fan, I needed a place where I could fanboy about these games. Until now, I was fanboying by myself. Then I discovered Pokemon Let's Go Amino, with the amazing features and friendly community it has to offer. With Pokemon Let's Go Amino, you can see everything Pokemon Let's Go related, like tips and tricks on how to beat the games like these Let's Plays, personal vlogs, fan art, public chat rooms, user polls, shiny Pokemon collections, and even Pokemon quizzes about facts and trivia, like this one, testing your knowledge about Let's Go. There's even a featured feed where you can see all the latest posts from all sorts of users. That way you can get connected and see stuff you like. You too can get involved with the hype that is Pokemon Let's Go with Amino and participate in all these wonderful activities they have to offer. In fact, I'm up there too. I even have a poll that you guys can vote on about today's best team. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download Amino for free, and also be sure to find my username in the description and drop me a follow. There are so many fantastic features and people in the Let's Go Amino community. Sign up today and begin your Let's Go journey. Look at these comments. Gosh, you guys are impatient sometimes. But it's finally here. Yes, the best team for Let's Go Pikachu needs. I'm honestly gonna say, I'm super impressed with the team. The mechanics, the catching system, everything about it. And with there being only cancer Pokemon, I hate to say it, but I think making the best teams actually easier. Those teams are easier to create. I couldn't have this team without the best starter guy.
Mystic, you know I don't just do best starter on my channel, right? I have other things too.
Top 5 reasons why you shouldn't watch Horizon. Also, don't forget to make your top 5s 13 minutes long, so you can maximize it accurately.
Wow, rude. But anyways, yeah, we did the best starter for Let's Go on my channel, so if you guys want to check that out, click the iCard link on the right to go see it, and once you're done, come back here to see the full best team. Over there, we give a full explanation and reasoning as to why we are going to use this specific starter for the best team, so you might want to go check that out.
Cutting straight to the chase, the best team is a team of 6 Pokemon that is designed for the absolute best performance for the set. stars and not include them. As far as the rest of the post-game goes for rematches or master trainers, we will not be including them. I will be including Blue, the only self going counter. If I did his rematch team, I would have to do all the gym leaders only 4 rematches. When making this team, we also provide movesets for each of the Pokemon. We include Tia moves, which do not allow egg moves in our post-game trainers. But in this game, the egg moves don't exist, which is crazy, and the majority of the moves in this game are trainers, especially for DP. So we're going to be including those as long as they're not in this game. Alright, so that's pretty much what our best team is. Let's hop right into this best Let's Go team.
Alright, so this is your final warning for anyone who hasn't seen the best starter video and doesn't want to be spoiled on who it is, because now we're going to be talking about it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The best starter for Let's Go is Eevee. Again, we've already explained it over on my channel as to why Eevee is the best starter, so we're really not going to get into any details here to waste any time. For the purpose of this video though, all there is to say is that Eevee is the best of the two. And what's great about Eevee is the fact that it gets access to so many great moves that it can really function however you want it to be. And stat-wise, we really like the fact that it's well-rounded, at least as much as it can be for a free evolution. So Eevee's role on the team is just to help cover even further.
Alright, I know I said everything is explained in the best starter video over on Horizons, but I can at least provide a moveset. Eevee's final moveset I think should be Fuzzy Buzz, Facade, Double Edge, Batty Bad, and Sparkling Swirl or Bouncy Bubble. Fuzzy Buzz is a tutor move that can be taught to Eevee as early as a Swirl in Pokemon, and can be taught at any other tutor location, even the game once those locations are discovered. Facade can be found on a
Contact. Contraries can be bumpy rides.
Set for a Master Trainer. And if you want extra power, Double Edge can be an option, just be aware of recoil damage. Batty Bags can be found in Solid on 6. Sparkling Swirl can be found in Huge Shot. And Bouncy Bubble can be found in Cerulean. And like Fuzzy Buzz, it can be rewarded in terms of either Sparkling Swirl or Bouncy Bubble, it all comes down to personal preference. Do you want coverage for fighting Pokemon and Lance or Dragon, or do you want Bouncy Bubble for rock or ground coverage? It all comes down to your personal preference. I prefer Sparkling Swirl. Alright, that's it for Eevee. Let's move on to the other members of the team.
Now let's move on to the very first Pokemon you are meant to catch. And this Pokemon you can actually get very early on in the game, Route 22 to be exact. And that is Nidoran Male. This Pokemon is honestly one of the most versatile and just all-around great Pokemon in the game. It sucks that Sheer Force is no longer a thing, but Nidoking can still do bits in this game, being by far the best ground type, at least for Indians. You can pick it up very early on in the games, can fully evolve it as soon as Mount Moon, and has a very vast move pool. I mean, there's Ice Beam, Brick Break, Superpower, the Elemental Punches, Earthquake, Poison Jab, Outrage, Mega Horn. There's just a lot of moves to work with here. And as for stats, it's not particularly great at anything, but can function well in many different roles, which is a perfect stat line to fit this move pool.
As for movesets, there is so much to offer in Nidoking, especially with the Data Generation set. Now we have a lot to mess with. The final moveset I recommend for Nidoking is Poison Jab, Earthquake, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Poison Jab is there for obvious stat, and that can be learned all for you. Or you can get the TN for it in Solid City by searching across a small patch of water. An NPC gets it. Ice Beam can be found in the sea from islands on the 3rd floor, and it provides coverage for a lot of different Pokemon. Earthquake can be obtained through Giovanni once you beat him, but for an early ground type move, you can teach it Drill Run for the time too. You can get Drill Run from an NPC in Route 17. The battle for that trainer is Pikachu. Dig is also a move that you can get before Drill Run for Lieutenant Surge. After you beat Misty, you already have a fully evolved Pokemon with 80 base power attack. That's very solid. Earlier moves you can get to the Nidoran line are Double Kick and possibly Horn Attack. Double Kick can also be handy against Brock if you don't feel like using it.
With all of these moves, the Nidoking line does great against Brock, Surge, Koga aside from Venomoth, Bloom, Giovanni and Lorelei, but I don't recommend it. Onyx and Poliwrath for Thunderbolt, but that's kind of risky. Agatha, Lance, but Simple Gyarados, faces Raichu, Rapidash, and Pidgeot, Rocket, which is especially important because of the poison type, Archer, Jesse and James, Red Arcanine and Pikachu, and
Welcome back to Best Starter for Kanto, Fire, Blue, Green, Venusaur. I have a Venusaur and everything it stands for. It is my favorite candy starter, and it's just utterly adorable. This time in Camp 13, you get to Mega Evolve this game. And let me just say, it's a monster once it gets into the Elite Four. Prior to that, I think Venusaur is the best grass Pokemon you can get in the entire game. And with it already having an impressive Kanto track record from the previous Kanto Best game, I think you guys already know how well it does. Grass Pokemon do pretty well in Kanto, as a lot of trainers use rock and ground next Pokemon. Venusaur also has the power to be both monster or defensive attack. You can run Leech Seed, Toxic, Earthquake, Swords Dance, Mega Drain, Sludge Bomb. It's just a lot of fun to run on Venusaur. It's got the stats to take on any role, and it's just an overall great grass Pokemon and the best cancer starter.
So move-wise for Venusaur, early on you need to get Violent, which big picture isn't a great move, but for early on in the game against Electric Frost, it's very doable. From there you can also learn its first move we are permanently keeping on Venusaur, which is Leech Seed. We feel this is a great move for Venusaur due to the bulk it has, and it can just sap away little bits of health from the opponent. There's also, of course, the powder moves like Poison Powder and Sleep Powder, but I recommend Poison Powder early on because I prefer crippling and draining into making a Pokemon sleep. From there, Venusaur doesn't really learn that many great moves by level up. I mean, there's Petal Dance, but I generally don't like that move just because you get locked into it and confused. But Venusaur does get some good TM moves, which leads us to the other three moves we are putting on Venusaur, which are Mega Drain, Sludge Bomb, and Toxic. Mega Drain is great because it got a buff in Let's Go from 40 to 75, and it still gets back HP as well. It's also really easy to find because you get it as soon as you beat the 4th gym. Sludge Bomb and Toxic, on the other hand, are both kind of late game, from beating Koga and Cinnabar Nation respectively. So until you get to those points in the game, I guess I can just recommend you running Takedown and Poison Powder.
With all these moves, Venusaur is great against Brock, Misty, Giovanni's Rhyhorn and Rhydon, Lorelai's team. I did the counts for Mega Venusaur. It can take hits from both Slowbro and Lapras. So don't worry, Mega Venusaur will be fine with Mega Drain. You can safely 2-hit KO Slowbro Lapras. You're fine. Other Pokemon as well against are Freya's Onyx, Trace's Marowak and Slowbro, Green's Blastoise and Placebo, and Earth's Lapras. One other note to add is that Leech Seed and Toxic can really get red Snorlax, as that thing is super fat. I get it has rest, but still, getting a Leech Seed off is nice, and if you use a bad NPC in the sense to not use rest, then more power to you.
Next up we have the Ninetales.
I want to fix Ninetales. Those are my top 5 favorites. What about your turn?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I hate to cut off Ryzel like that, but if you guys have seen any of my videos, 2 of my favorite Pokemon you know are Vulpix and Ninetales. Vulpix can be found right after Cerulean City, right below on Route 5. I will admit that Ninetales isn't the best for Let's Go. I will 100% agree that Arcanine is for fire types. The problem is with Arcanine is that it's version exclusive Pikachu. Hold it there, commenter. Don't type what I think you're gonna type. Yes, you can get Arcanine as a light Pokemon from the NPC Cerulean City. I'm fully aware. The problem with that is Arcanine can't get Flamethrower level up, nor can it get any other fire moves other than Ember. Flamethrower is a TM, but you don't get that TM until Self. At that point in the game, fire Pokemon really aren't as useful as they are in the early game. Ninetales is on the team because we need a filler in all honesty. A fire Pokemon to me provides better filler rather than an Ice-type Pokemon or a Fire-type Pokemon. Also, that being said, I don't want any more weaknesses on the team. We don't need any more Psychic weaknesses or Ice-type weaknesses.
Well, for moves, it's really simple what we wanted Ninetales for, and that's for all of the powerful fire types. So, of course, what you need to have is either Flamethrower or Fire. But for this specific team, we think accuracy should go over power. You do have to wait a bit to get it around to level 24, which should be after Rock Tunnel, so it's actually a perfect time, as it's right before you battle Erica. Will-O-Wisp is also a great move to have, since Burn has physical attack and deals damage at the turn. And you can also get it as soon as 17, which should be right as you catch it on Route 5. Besides that, there really isn't much else to learn through level up, as Vulpix doesn't learn anything worthwhile after Flamethrower, and Ninetales doesn't learn anything period. But for TMs, there are some nice moves they can get access to. The best of them being Dark Pulse, which is located in the Rocket Hideout, and Calm Mind, which you can get from Sabrina. I actually prefer to have Nasty Block, but the move relearner isn't until the end of the game, so Calm Mind will just have to be on solo. Solo Beam is also another option if you want, but having to power it up for 2 turns would just be a hindrance to Ninetales.
With all these moves, Ninetales is good against Erica, Sabrina, Lorelai's Jinx, Agatha's Gengar, Blue's Executor, Trace's Vile Form and Slowbro, Careful, Green's Victory Bell, and Red's Venusaur.
Alright, now for the penultimate Pokemon on this best team, so let's go. We decided to go with a Pokemon that can really counter Psychic types, as they are one of the strongest types in the game. And well, since we are playing PvP, why not run the best possible non-Mega Bug type in this game? It's great because this Pokemon comes right before you face Sabrina. Actually,
How does he walk when inspiration strikes? Family life definitely needs to settle down. Introducing the turbocharged redesigned Select.
full in before on Route 14. Although it is a 1% encounter rate, once you get a chain going and Aurora, it should be much easier to find. And as for moves, it's not fast, but it has all the important moves that you need, such as X-Scissors, Sword Dance, Superpower, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Outrage, and powerful physical attacks with all these moves. And as for stats, sure, it's not the greatest. I wish the speed was up a bit, but base 100 defense and 125 attack is nothing to do that.
Moves for Pinsir is actually quite fun, as I don't think we have used a lot of bugs Pokemon in a best team before. Its moveset consists of X-Scissor, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Sword Dance. X-Scissor Pinsir gets a level 20, and it's Pinsir's basic stat attack. Rock Slide is super coverage, and that can be done instead of a super mansion. Earthquake is a must-have coverage attack for fire type Pokemon. This does use against flame. Sword Dance can learn to be a level up, level 32, and to be honest, Sword Dance can help Pinsir too. Pinsir isn't exactly our MVP, but it is a powerful asset, especially with Sword Dance. With that move, Pinsir should be able to carry to good places.
Now with all these moves that Pinsir gets access to, the most effective people to use it on are Sabrina, Lorelai's Slowbro, Luna's Onyx, Agatha, Trace's Raichu, Vile Form Slowbro, Blue's Executor, Red's Venusaur Pikachu, and Green's Gengar and Victory Bell. So basically, Pinsir isn't going to be the most widely used Pokemon on the team, but it provides a very important tech to Psychic type.
Lastly on our team, we have one of the best Paper Camping superstars, Starmie. I swear, I too could use puns. Now, Starmie is our designated water type and second type. It fills a role for us as a poison Pokemon killer, rather than having to rely on Venusaur for all the work. Starmie's water typing isn't heavily needed due to Venusaur, but I mean, hey, a water type Pokemon isn't terrible to have. Plus, you can ride on Starmie, and it just looks super silly. This Star Pokemon has a super wide hold pick from as it always has, and special attack and speed are off the charts. I think I can say it's one of the best special attack Pokemon. It's that time for Christmas cheer. Pikachu and friends are ready to celebrate the holidays with you. Show up in Christmas spirit. On the limited edition, Let's Go Celebrate the Holidays t-shirts and hoodies. Get them before we head back to the North Pole on January 2nd. Yesterday I said I may or may not do the best team preview. I was kidding. Of course I'm going to do the best team preview. How could I not? Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu have two completely different starters and have a range of different Pokemon that can be used. You guys will see that in the team for Pikachu. It will be semi-different. Pikachu isn't nearly as good as Eevee does, so that's why it is the second best team Eevee done. I actually haven't played Let's Go Pikachu. I've only played Eevee. So I think this will be an interesting team to use as I get to see both sides. Alright, let's hop into what a best team is doing. Heading straight to the chase, a best team is a team of 6 Pokemon, and is designed for the absolute best performance for its said Pokemon game. The team revolves around a best starter choice, and is then made into a team revolving around that said best starter. Pikachu, however, isn't the best starter. If you want to know why, check out the video we did on our Legends channel, where we mentioned how good Pikachu and Eevee both are for their respective teams. We are just making a team to revolve around Pikachu to complete the duo of teams. Each team member is designed to do well against certain winners, you and 4 members, champion, rival, and equal team. In the end, we have a team that is well against all the battles in the game. As a bonus, we are given the including, just like in the starter video and the previous best team, Red and Green. Red and Green are both very important here, regardless of the first game. I think it would be a dishonor to not. Like Eevee for Red, you have to beat 6 Master Trainers in order to face it. You beat 6 Pokemon to take up Master Trainers, or any other Pokemon you want to beat Master Trainers. This isn't a Master Trainer guide though. There are guides out there. I'm sure you can find some Master Trainers. As far as the rest of the most games goes, for remasters or Master Trainers, we will not be including them. I will be including Blue, but only as self-fill encounter. If I did every match team, I would have to be all the two-player in the format. When making this team, we also provided the specification of Pokemon. We include Tanders, but we do not allow egg moves from this species. But in this game, egg moves do not exist. It's pretty crazy. And the majority of the moves in this game are T moves, so your moves honestly really don't even matter. Unless you're talking about Pikachu specifically, getting moves like Floating Fall and Swish Splash. Alright, that's pretty much what a best team is. Let's hop right into this best Let's Go Pikachu team. Starting off this team is a start Pikachu. Just like what Ariza and I said, we mentioned how good and bad Pikachu was as well. You can put the icon to Ariza's best starter video for an entire bio on Pikachu, and includes the trainer as well against his batteries. I will, however, provide Pikachu moves. Pikachu, like, gets some nice cover attacks, but of course the move pool isn't as well. However, Pikachu still gets fun moves to use. The moves we decided to use for Pikachu are Thunderbolt, Floating Fall, Swish Splash, and Iron Tail. Thunderbolt is Pikachu's main stat power, and it can get that as early as level 21. Swish Splash can get taught to Pikachu and Pokemon are in Pikachu City. Floating Fall can be taught to Pikachu in Celadon City, and Iron Tail can be bought from Celadon City Party. That's all I'm pretty much going to say about Pikachu. Watch the next starter for more. One more small thing we forgot to mention in that starter does. Iron Tail on Supreme Booster Mine. Coming into the number 2 spot, who else could it be than one of the most recurring Pokemon in this series, Nidoking? Honestly, this shouldn't be that much of a surprise to you, as Nidoking is one of the most powerful veterans we have. It's got pretty solid stats, having 1 or 2 in attack, pretty decent defensive, and not bad speed at 85. And as always, its move pool is nice and provided, so it's no splash when it comes to coverage. You can get a Nidoran very early at around 22, level 3 or 4. From there, you only need to get up to level 16 to evolve into Nidoran. Conveniently enough, you don't need to wait for any moves, and it can evolve straight into Nidoking right away with a Moonstone. You can get a Moonstone fairly early as well, meaning enough to need a crate. I think this is like the 5th time I've said this in my videos, and I'll continue to do it until Nidoking is in the game. Now for a moveset, we have the same moveset as the last best team, being Poison Jab, Earth Quake, Thunderbolt, and X-Ray. The Poison Jab skin can be achieved in Celadon City, and the Metal Component of the house. So you'll need to get this technique. It can be learned by entering a skill level up to 39. However, I think it's best to evolve it into Nidoking as soon as possible. However, the choice is if you choose to follow by advice on the 10, then just use Poison Sting to pull that. Or you can use moves like Peck or One Attack. Moving on, the Earthquake 10 is given to you after you beat Giovanni at the Breeze stage here. Until then, just use Dig, and then up there to Drill Run. The Dig TM is given to you by the Rocky Breath, and Spray House and Cerulean City. And Drill Run is given to you after you do the Coach Turn on Route 17. Next is Thunderbolt, which is given to you after you do the Transfers. And lastly, we have Ice Beam, which can be done in a single mile, what this means is that Nidoking can be loaded with Lieutenant Surface Team, Coach's Team, except for Venomoth. Slaying Team, Giovanni's Team is Thunderbolt. We have Polygraph with Thunderbolt, Agatha's Team, Lance's Team with Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. Seedra and Garrus Water Attack. Trace's Team is set to Marowak. Jesse and Davis Arbok is Leasing. Archer's Team. Breeze Team is set to Famous Scott. And finally, the President Team, Arkin and Team. Yeah, as always, Nidoking puts in a lot of work, which is why it'll always find its way onto a Kanto best team. I mentioned in the best team for Eevee that Arcanine is the 100% best fire Pokemon in the Let's Go series. So get your hands for its Kanto debut on the best team for Eevee. Growlithe can be found as early as Route 5 with its right below Cerulean City. There's also a Fire Stone in the patch of grass right up to the Lavender Town. Simply cut down a tree and the Fire Stone is right there. Or if you want another one, you can always buy one to sell it on the farm store. Personally, when it comes to evolving Growlithe and Arcanine, I would wait until level 28 when it gets crushed. Most of the time you even have access to the Fire Stone, I think Growlithe should already be over 28 returns. Arcanine is such a great Pokemon. It's got great stats all around, and has a really fun move to use. There are other fire Pokemon like Charizard and Magmar, but Arcanine is just so much better. Charizard gets Flamethrower 2-way, and Air Slash is worth level 16. Magmar is just a late game, but really is just found into the Sinnoh advantage. Fire Pokemon aren't all that great in Kanto, but Arcanine is still a powerful asset in his best team. And like I mentioned with Eevee's best team, I'd rather have a fire Pokemon than a fighting Pokemon or an ice type. Plus, other members have fighting type attacks. Arcanine is great, and I think you guys will consider it, especially for this. Arcanine's moveset is so vivid with its moveset, so you have a lot of different options. But I think this moveset is the best. Those moves consist of Flamethrower / Flare Crunch, Fire Up, and Super Power. Flamethrower can be learned by Growlithe at level 17, Flare can be learned at level 13. I don't think you want to keep Growlithe that long though, and like I always mentioned with Flare the recoil damage can stack up. That's why I prefer Flamethrower. I like Crunch because it provides Ghost and Psychic Attack. A hard to beat physical Dark Attack really turns second Pokemon Ghost Attack because they are so dang spread. what they learned at level 28. Flight Rep is really fun to have and use against fighting types, and I think it's one of the best coverage moves Arcanine can personally get. That's why Arcanine has Flight Rep. Lastly, Superpower is really late game, but it can provide you help against those bulky normal Pokemon in this game. Superpower is a late game TM, take that in Victory Room. Earlier moves for the Arcanine line are Ember, Dig, and Iron Tail. With all these moves earlier, Arcanine is great against Lieutenant Surge with Dig. Erica. By the time you get to Koga, I would replace it with Iron Tail if you want. Now with that being said, Iron Tail is great against Supreme Mr. Mind, and Crunch can decimate the rest of the team. Includes Executor, Moralized Jinx. For those fighting types with Flight Rep, they wear your Earthquake on the can. Don't use Arcanine and Onyx, that's a bad idea. Agatha's Ganger Crunch, Lance Dragonite and Flight Rep. Traces Vileplume and Slowbro Crunch. Be careful. Green's Victory Bell, Ganger and Crunch, and Tango and Superpower. And finally, Red Venusaur, Snorlax, and Lapras and Superpower. But just be wary of both those Pokemon, especially Snorlax because of Super Attack. And also Lapras is Water type, so watch out for that as well. Coming into the number 4 spot, we have yet another better than the best team experience in Snorlax. As always, Snorlax is our bulky normal type variety. So in reality, you can choose whatever moves you like with Snorlax. However, I will still offer you a moveset that I feel is the best for this team. First off, where to get Snorlax is pretty obvious. You can get a Snorlax in either route 12 or 16. You're only able to win Snorlax, not that from Mr. Beauty, gives you the most Pokemon. So I would just go for the one on the route 12 as you'll be right there. However, I would recommend getting them both out of the way because it's cool. Now Snorlax will need a tiny bit of grinding up, and really doesn't show true potential until they explore this now. But it's still a super good Pokemon for this. Moving on to the moveset, we have Body Slam, Brick Break, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch. Body Slam is a level up move, we're at level 52, so until then, just use Headbutt, which Snorlax already has in it by the time you capture it. For Brick Break, you get that TM from the Coach Trainer outside of the Rock Tunnel. Fire Punch TM is obtained from the Coach Trainer on Route 15, so you can choose to either take the long way to get it, or infiltrate the city. However, I would say tough it out too to get Fire Punch earlier first. And finally, for Ice Punch, you get that from the Coach Trainer on Route 21. With this moveset, Snorlax is well against Erica's team if you decide to get Fire Punch beforehand. Code is Golbat and Venomon. Sabrina's Jinx, Giovanni's team, Lorelai's team except for Slowbro, Bruno's Onyx, Agatha's Golbat, Lance's Aerodactyl and Dragonite, Trace's Pidgeot, Vileplume and Maryline, Archer's Golbat, Green's Victorville and Candy-Star, and finally Red's Lapras, Snorlax, and Venusaur. As I said earlier, Snorlax is a variety of Pokemon, so you can choose to do whatever you want. And it really does seem, no matter what you do, that it will always be a super valuable member of the team. I am proud to announce we get to use another bug-type Pokemon on the best team. And this time, for Let's Go Pikachu, we get to use Cypher. Cypher can be found on Route 14 at the earliest, right below Lavender Town in Snorlax. Cypher is a 1% encounter rate, but if you use a lure and a decent amount of tap combos, it should be super simple to get. I have used Scizor before in the previous testing, and it was fun to use. However, this time with no trade evolutions and no generations of Pokemon, we get to see Cypher shine all on its own. Cypher is a type Mantis Pokemon with great speed and attack. With it getting a solid bug stab with X-Scissor, it makes Cypher that much more powerful than Aloe. Cypher Generation 7 is a lot better than it ever was in any previous Ninja type. Let me explain why we are primarily using Cypher as well. We need a Pokemon for second types. This Cypher can be used Pinsir, and Let's Go Pikachu we get to use Cypher, which I think is a little bit better than Pinsir and pretty smooth Pinsir's Mega that only gets the Pokemon. Gengar is off limits because of trade evolutions, that chick is gone. Alakazam with Shadow Ball has gone too because of trade evolutions. Pokemon have Crunch, sure, but I would rather have a specific typing coverage that I get rather than relying on a coverage attack. I want a primary Pokemon that hit their second, and Cypher I feel does the job best with this team if you exclude Gengar and Alakazam and Shadow. I want a primary Pokemon to take care of second Pokemon. Cypher I feel does the job best in this game. I know that Alolan Muck is also another option, but I prefer Cypher because it just has speed. I think you guys are going to have fun using this Mantis, as it does incredibly well on Muck. Cypher doesn't exactly have a fantastic move pool, but here's what we can run. X-Scissor, Wing Attack, Brick Break, and Sword Spears. X-Scissor can be learned at level 41, but it can be found as a TM earlier, right below Lavender Town by 30. Wing Attack is the best flying attack you can get, and that can be learned by Cypher level 21. Brick Break can be found on Route 10, right before Long Tunnel from a Coach Trainer, and that can provide coverage for Cypher's rock disease. Sword Dance can be learned at level 44, and it's super handy to have this attack. You can use a lot of training that combo in Cypher. Level 44 can be a hyper attack, I know, so I guess I'm going to use the meantime slash. It has 70 base power with a high crit. Slash can be learned level 26. With all these moves, aside from obliterate Sabrina's team, you can also use Brick Brick as the line screen setting as well. Giovanni's Rhydon, I don't do that though, Will's Executor, or last second Pokemon. Bruno's fighting types is be wary of some of his coverage attacks. Trace's Vileplume and Slowbro. Green's Victorville and Kanga is watching for Thunder Punch, and Red's Machamp and be careful of Fire Blast. Let's get you the happens. Lapras, be careful, Snorlax and Hughes. Lastly, just like in the EV Best team, welcome back, Superstar and the veteran, Starmie. Starting can be done on a routing team and can be evolved with the Water Stone Eevee. Water Stones can be bought and sold on Sand Garden Store. Starmie, like an Eevee, is our Water and Psychic Pokemon type special attacker. It's the Poison type killer Pokemon, so Nidoking doesn't have to do all the work. Starmie has a super light equal, giving it access to a great arsenal moves with Ice Beam and Thunder. And special attack and speed are super amazing, and in my eyes, it's one of the best special attackers in this entire game. If you don't count the trade evolutions of Alakazam in the game, Alakazam is a great Pokemon, but like I mentioned before, the Scyther, because it's a trade evolution, you guys got mad at me for using trade Pokemon last time, so we're not going to use it. But I guess if you guys want a move set, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Calm. Thunderbolt you get from an Surge, Psychic is a level 1 move, Shadow Ball you get installed at the front of the store, and Calm you get from yeah, Starmie is a great replacement for Alakazam getting hurt. Plus it comes to a lot of people wins. Starmie's moveset is super easy, as it's the same moveset we use for the EVs. That moveset is Skull, Psychic, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. Skull can be obtained previously after defeating her. Psychic is on Starmie when you capture it. If not, it gets at level 36. Thunderbolt you get after being Surge, and that takes care of other water types and flying types. Ice Beam is only for Lance, but I mean, hey, it's a killer attack regardless, and it also provides grass coverage. The team for Ice Beam can be done in the Steeple Mountains on the 3rd floor, like I said earlier. And finally with these teams, Starmie does well against Koga's team, Sabrina's Slowbro, Blaine's team, Giovanni's team, Lorelai's team aside for Jinx and Thunderbolt, Bruno's team, Agatha's team, although you want to be careful of her Gengar, Lance's entire team, Trace's team aside for Jolteon, Jesse James's team, Archer's Golbat, Magmar, and Weezing, Green's Victorville, Ninetales, and Blastoise, and finally Red's Machamp, Arcanine, Lapras, and Venusaur. Well, that pretty much wraps up the best team series for Let's Go Pikachu. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, this has been so on the lookout for both best teams. Zenorize's best starter video. So I hope you guys did enjoy this series of best starter and best teams for the Let's Go Pikachu League series. Out of both teams though, which one was your favorite, and what team member did you favorite? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on. That way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my streams. We're streaming a lot of Pokemon. I'm excited to be playing a Pokemon game on a much bigger screen than usual with stunning graphics. We are going to have fun. Thanks to you guys, my channel has exploded in popularity lately. The first Pokemon game I ever played on my channel was Pokemon X, and its first episode has over 4 million views, and that's all thanks to receiving over 35,000 likes. I hope you enjoyed this video got anywhere close, so thanks in advance for any likes and comments you can me on this video series. Also, thank you for subscribing. We just hit 3.3 million subscribers. That's incredible, and I cannot thank you guys enough. I'll do my best to bring you even more awesome videos. Just leave a comment letting me know which games made you subscribe and which games you'd like to see me play in the future. Now, without further ado, let's play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So, let's go! It came out of TV. So I guess we're going into the TV with him, okay? Oh, I better wake up. How are you? Hello there, glad
glad to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. Nice. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. And if you want to know how people tend to interact with these Pokemon, well, some people keep them as companions, others have them do battle. As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. This is a job. Now, why don't you tell me about yourself? Okay, well, hey, my name's, what do they look like, okay? These are just the options that we have. You can be male or female. And I'm just going to go with the default, the one that selected first. That's me, I'm Zach. How about a name? Zach, of course. My name is Zach. Oh, my name is Sea-Dog. Of course, my name is Sea-Dog. Right. So your name is Sea-Dog. Yes. That's me, Sea-Dog in the house. All right. All right. This boy here is your friend and rival who has grown up right next door to you. I don't know. I think I would remember that. What was his name now? I don't know. This is a false memory. This is implanted in my head. I have to name this guy? Come on, don't make me name him. Looks like a Kevin to me. This guy's name is Kevin. Here we go. Kevin. It was Kevin, was it? Yes. I'm Sea-Dog, and my rival's name is Kevin. And I see, his name is Kevin. Alright. Good for him. Sea-Dog, my boy. Your very own Pokemon tale is about to unfold. Yes, a world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. That's right. Pokemon, let's go. So bright, close your eyes, everybody. Alright. Oh, it's blurry. That was a pretty dream I had. Whoa, I'm real. Alright. What are we gonna do? We're gonna move around, okay. Maybe the search here, you know, my computer surf the web a little bit. There's an email from Kevin. Oh, great. Hey, Sea-Dog, so here's what you need to know as a trainer. Press the A button and you can talk to all kinds of people. And if you tilt the control stick more, you can run. Plus, if you open up the main menu by pressing the X button, you can save your progress too. Boy, I can't wait to get started with you, Kevin. I have this, it's a Fluffy Pikachu plush. Alright. So, by the way, I wasn't able to use my Pro Controller unless I overlooked something. I'm coming up. Who is? Do I have to name you too? Up and at him. Oh, it's Kevin, okay. Morning, Sea-Dog. What's going on? You've got one weird look on your face. No, you too, Kevin. Oh, never mind that. I couldn't wait any longer, so I came to get you. Today's finally the big day. We're finally going to get our first Pokemon from Professor Oak and become real trainers. Oh, but before we do, you read the email I sent you yesterday, right? You better have. Check your computer if you didn't. I did. And if I hadn't, I would just say I did. I'm going to book it to Professor Oak's lab, so see you there. Alright, I guess I, too, will book it, as they say. As Kevin says. Alright, this TV, can I read the TV? They're showing a movie on TV. The scene is showing 4 boys walking down a set of railroad tracks. Stand by me. They're watching Stand By Me. But it's time to get going. Okay. Myself and the ghost training. This is the place where TV winds up. Hey, Mom. I think it's my mom. Yes, it's Mom, M-O-N. Off you go to Professor Oak's lab. Kevin asked the Professor to give the 2 of you Pokemon of your own, didn't he? Yeah, I guess so. I wasn't ready for one. Inside this. There's nothing inside. Alright, I don't have to check everything, do I? Beautiful updated graphics. It's Pokemon, but for the Switch. We are already in a big town. Okay, here we go. Get me out of that, dude. Can I check the mail? Sea-Dog sounds. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Name it after me, not my mom or my parents. Allentown, say that your journey awaits. What's up, girl? I'm raising Pokemon too, but they get strong to be able to protect me. Good for you. Where is Professor Oaks? Is he like right next door or something? What's up with you, dude? Technology is incredible. Now you can connect your smartphone to your game console and send data between them. Yeah, that is actually really true. I think that's one of the reasons this game was designed. From Pokemon Research Lab. It looks like right next door to me, dude. Alright. Here we are. This place looks small on the outside, but it's huge on the inside. I also study Pokemon as Professor Oak's assistant. Good for you. Professor Oak may not look like much, but he's the authority on Pokemon. Many Pokemon trainers think highly of him. I do too, by the way. I also study Pokemon as Professor Oak's assistant. Okay. Kevin, what are you doing over here, dude? I'm using like just the red side, like one of the individual controllers here. I wish you would let me use the Pro controller, but no. Oh, Z-Dog, Professor Oak isn't here. Do you think those Pokeballs hold the Pokemon you and I supposed to get? I have no idea. I can't wait to get mine. I don't know. I don't think we can mess with them. There's like 6 of yours got to be sick. There are Pokeballs in a mysterious machine. Ooh, spooky. Can I read Professor Oak's email? There's an email from Professor Oak. The Pokemon League at the Indigo Plateau is